Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
This story is sponsored by Germ Bust My Bins. Well, now we're actually on site where we can see what this looks like firsthand. I'm joined by John Michael. How are you?
Great, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Talk to me about what you guys do. Why is it so important for you guys to take care of this stuff rather than the homeowner?
Well, what we are is we are a curbside trash bin cleaning service. Our trucks arrive at your curbside on trash day after the trash has been emptied. What we find when we get there is usually a trash bin that's full of just gross, nasty, baked on grossness inside of it. And our trucks arrive here to essentially clean the inside and outside of the bins using 200-degree hot, high-pressure water.
So you can obviously smell the odor that is coming from these bins.
Yeah.
Once you guys do your magic, what do they smell like afterwards?
Yeah, we'll hear that not only from our customers, but also from their neighbors. As you can see, the wind is blowing and it kind of blows that aroma around a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But once we clean it, it's, essentially what's left in these bins is the remnants from the trash bin. It's germs and bacteria that are taking care of what's left over. And we come in with the 200-degree water. We clean the bins and set them back down, and we put a deodorizer in them.
Okay, gotcha. Now, why shouldn't a homeowner do this on their own? There's a lot of reasons.
Yeah, there are several reasons for it. First off, I would say that our cleaning system is much better than what you can do at home.
Yeah.
When a homeowner does this, usually they're putting in some sort of a detergent, which they will wash it with. And then what do you do with that detergent when you're done? You end up dumping it down your driveway and into the storm drain where it goes to natural waterways, which is not really good for the environment.
Especially here at the beach.
Correct, yeah. Being a coastal community and with all of these retention ponds, we've got the intercoastal, we really don't want to put that water into our natural waterway. Definitely.
Well, I love what you guys do. Walk me through the whole process if you want to sign up, and how often do you guys come? How does that work?
Typically, our customers will enroll online at germbustmybins.com. We do have an easy online enrollment process there. Once you're on board, you're put into a neighborhood route, just like the trash companies would have. And we come every 4 weeks on trash day, usually later in the day after the trash trucks have been through, and we will service your bins and then put them back curbside as you see right here.
Perfect. What do you love about your team?
We've got a team that's been with us, most of them for multiple years now. They get together, they work together really well. They enjoy being outside. They are very focused on what they do every day. To me, it just seems like something that you can enjoy day in and day out by just not sitting behind a desk. They just have a lot of fun working here.
And I'm joined today in studio by Frank from Germ Bust My Bins. How are you?
Good, how are you doing today?
We have had quite a day, let me tell you. So today I got to go out with Frank and we got to see what actually happens with Germ Bust My Bins. But why don't you walk me through what you guys are all about for our viewers that maybe don't know?
Okay, so what we offer is a subscription-based service, and we will pull up to your curbside with our special trucks. We can clean your bin first time 8 to 10 minutes, depending on how dirty it is, on our monthly maintenance schedule. Anywhere from 2.5 to 5 minutes, which is way faster than you can do it yourself, and we can get it way cleaner. We use 200-degree high-pressure water, about 2,900 PSI. No chemicals at all. The only chemicals we use are a deodorizer at the end, just to help you with a little better smell for a while afterwards.
And boy, do we know what that's like, especially when it gets hot here in South Carolina. The bins get stinky. Some people have to keep them in their garage. It's miserable. Taking your trash out, it stinks, it's gross, and it's germy.
Oh, for sure. Not to mention the insects, the rodents, the wildlife. And there's a lot of elderly people in this community that just can't do it themselves, even if they want to. It's just not possible for them. So we just want to provide that quick, easy service for them that makes everything, simple.
This story is sponsored by Germ Bust My Bins.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Welcome back to Living Local Carolina. We got a hot topic today. Hot and cold, how to keep dogs nice and cool,
yes,
or warm and toasty.
That's right.
Joyelle, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Katie.
Thank you for stopping by today.
Yes.
Give me some tips.
Sure. So right now, as you know, we are in a heat wave. So it's very, very hot for our dogs. So primarily, you need to pay attention to how hot the ground is. When the temperature is around 80 degrees, your asphalt is about 115.
Not fun.
Not fun at all. So what that actually can do is to burn blisters on the bottoms of your dog's feet. So it's very, very important. Top of the line, you need to make sure it's not too hot. Unfortunately, I see people walking their dogs in the heat of the day all the time. And I continue to say, it is too hot outside, what are you doing? So it's really, really important because those blisters, it just creates very much blisters on the bottoms of their feet, and it can really damage their feet. So really be mindful of that. Walk in the earlier morning times or in the later evening times, okay? Also provide enough water. So if you have outside dogs, which I don't recommend having dogs in the heat of the day outside, but if it's not possible, make sure you provide them enough shade and you bring them in when you're able, provide enough water for them. Now, going to cold. So it's really important, again, to take care of your dog's feet. Lots of times people throw out the ice melt or the salt to help prevent any slipping and sliding. That also can damage your paw's feet as well because it gets into their paws and then they'll lick it and it contains all those chemicals that are dangerous for dogs. So it's really important that you wipe their feet off, clean them off. Again, providing enough water and enough food for them. If it's super cold outside, bring them inside or in a warm area. If they happen to be outside, provide a home for them that's a little bit raised up off the ground. Put some shavings or something like that in there so they're not laying directly on the ground. It's very, very important.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Shedding. And do you have any tips? Because I've heard that it's not good to shave dogs.
Sure.
Because it messes up their coats. Is that true?
Oh, so I would definitely say talk to your groomer about that, but there are tools that you can use. There's like a de-shedder. It's really important because you need to at least brush your dog to get all of the excess hair off of them, especially during the winter months. They're going to blow their coat anyway.
Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina. Today, I mean, come on, what a treat. I am at the Art Museum of Myrtle Beach. How are you doing, Patricia?
Oh, I couldn't be better. Thank you for being here.
So you are the executive director here.
I am, yes.
You know quite a bit about art.
I know quite a bit about this museum.
Okay.
I don't say that I know everything about art, but I certainly know about this museum and what we feature. And I'm delighted to feature the Rhodes Collection of African American art, the Rhodes Collection of African American art, in this exhibition entitled Lifting Black Voices.
I mean, we just took a little walk around and it's breathtaking.
It is breathtaking.
I mean, you have Philip Simmons, Jonathan Green, just
right.
Really, really awesome.
We have 80 works by 30 different artists, all collected by Dr. and Mrs. Rhodes, who have a dental practice in Walterboro and live in Charleston, South Carolina. They have been collecting since 1991, and this is just a small portion of their collection. And weren't we lucky to get these 80 pieces?
Oh my goodness.
Yes, and I mean, we have names like Jonathan Green and Philip Simmons, Tyrone Jeter, Ariane King-Comer and Leo Twiggs, who do batiks. We have sculpture and woodwork and ironwork and oils and pastels. I mean, collages, James Denmark collages. So it just tells such a wonderful story. Mainly, all of these artists have ties to South Carolina. They all were born here, taught here, lived here, created here. So this is really a homage to South Carolina and the art of past and present.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina, everybody. Today I am joined by Matt, who is a producer amongst a ton of other titles. So how are you doing?
I am great. I'm great. It's good to be here.
All right, I want you to talk to me a little bit about your career and what you do.
Producer, musician, singer, artist. Just love doing music. Been doing it for a while. Recording engineer.
Well, I know that you have a term that you've coined called mixed producer. Can you kind of break that down for me?
Yeah, so what producer actually started out in music, it started out as the person who pretty much directs the song. And so, back in the days, like, in the 80s, 90s, Teddy Riley or Berry Gordy or someone, or Puffy would produce a record, and they didn't necessarily play, or like Puffy wouldn't necessarily play anything. He would just direct the song, put that snare there, that sounds really great, and I'll approve it. Then Teddy Riley kind of came along and kind of did everything himself. Like, he did all the music, he directed everything, got everything together. And then now it's kind of evolved to the producer kind of just does the beat. Well, that isn't really what a producer does. And so the mixed producer kind of puts more of a context for the engineer. A lot of times now the engineer is the one who is kind of putting all the effects and making producer decisions. And they're talking to the artist, because the person who did the beat sent the beat, the artist did what they did on it, sing, rap, what have you, and then they're coming into the studio, and now the song still needs coaching, it still needs massaging. And so usually the engineer is the one who does it. So now you call the engineer the producer, but they don't necessarily get credit for doing the things that they're doing, you know what I mean? And so what mixed producer does is kind of give language to what's actually happening, because I'm changing songs, adding even to the point where adding more instrumentation with the instrumentation that's there, like putting more snares here, or putting a break here, changing the entire sound of this part, making decisions that are producer's decisions, that if you didn't know the engineer did that, you would be like, oh, the producer's great, you know what I mean? But producer just put a kind of a boom tap. They did their thing. They put the foundation on, but the finishing product was really, really created by the engineer. So. And
that's what makes it sound really good in the end too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Talk to me about the highlights of your career. Obviously, you've won a Grammy. You've worked with some very notable artists before. But tell me the highlights.
Again, it's hard for me to talk about stuff. I literally have people that have known me for like 15 years, and they're just finding out that I have a Grammy. So I'm the guy. Literally, yeah. I'm the guy who wins the award but doesn't come. Yeah, I'm that guy. So I sit in a lot of sessions, and they're like, man, you have a Grammy. You got a song with Ashanti. You got a song with this person, that person, and I'll be like, okay, that's cool, but can we work? Like, what are we gonna do? You know what I mean? Yeah. So, let's see. I worked with Ashanti. Got a song with Tyrese, and did a song with Aaron Hall and Biggie Smalls, and just done some work with some people. Traveled a couple of places and worked with a lot of dream people. But it's cool.
I'm sure you have a million stories, but what are you working on right now?
Now I've relocated I used to be, my main place was Richmond, Virginia. And so now I've moved to California. So kind of relocating and kind of getting things. I'm in Sacramento. I'm really, really working on establishing a second location for the studio that we had in Richmond. So we're kind of expanding. It was a Spot recording studio in Richmond, Virginia. Go check them out. Longest urban studio, the best in DMV.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.